Good evening, Facebook. How you doing? This is your favorite Ruby girl, Dr. K, in the house. Hey, it's time for another Ruby Girl Talk show. And so I know, as always, you've been waiting, you've been wondering, you can't wait to hear what my guest got to say. So I do promise you a fantastic, amazing, exciting evening. And when I tell you Tracy is here to help you be transformed, she is like the fairy godmother of transformation. And when I tell you, I love her personality. I love how she loves life and life loves her. And so she's going to teach you how to live tonight. When we were interviewing, she said something very profound. She said, eventually we're all going to meet death, but it's how you live before you meet death. A lot of us, we already dead. We already killed off our dreams, killed off our purpose, because maybe somebody said something to us that we didn't like, or maybe something happened to us that we just can't get past. But Tracy is here tonight as a transformational, new word, transformational mindset coach. I like playing with words too. And so she's going to be here tonight to help you. Before she gets started, what I'm going to do for Tracy, I usually charge like $1,000 to do this, but for you, because I love you, I'm going to share this video on your page.
Wow.
I'm gonna tag you in it. Yeah, you get the discount tonight so that
Oh
your
my
people
God.
can watch the video. All right, so I'm gonna do a commercial right quick, and then I'm gonna have you introduce yourself, Tracy. You think
All
you can
righty.
handle
Sounds
that
wonderful.
introduction?
Yes,
Okay. All
I
right. So
am.
so, hey, everybody. Once again, I am Dr. K, your favorite Ruby girl. And so I am the creator and the founder of the Proverbs 31 brand Ruby Girl. So, what is Ruby Girl about? Ruby Girl is about reconnecting women with the Proverbs 31 woman. So, Proverbs 31 and 10 said, who can find a virtuous woman for her price is far above the price of a ruby? Ladies, if you think you don't have worth, if you think you don't have value, that one scripture gives you so much value and so much worth. So the Ruby Girl platform is transforming women's lives by making them realize that they have worth and they have value, and it's not attached to what they've been through, what they have not even went through, or what somebody said to them. God said it, God established it. It is the foundation of who you are. So it makes you valuable, virtuous, and so filled with worth. And this is just for the women only. So connect with me at rubygirl.net. I got free ebooks on there that's going to help you manage your life, transform your mind. I got books on there to help you in your singleness. And if you know some woman that's being abused, you can go on there and get my journal that'll help walk her out. But tonight, it's not about me. It's about Miss Tracy. So introduce yourself, Miss Tracy.
Yes, I'd love to do so. Hello, world. It is Terrific Tuesday. I am Tracy, free spirited. I inspire smalls. I am your mindset self development coach, along with your international inspirational speaker. And I just want to say, I truly appreciate you having me here tonight. I'm like super duper excited and elated and nervous at the same time.
You didn't know that last part. You was rocking it, girl.
That's part of that transparency.
Oh, all right. So y'all already know what y'all about this back. She's not gonna hold anything back. She's not gonna pretend to be anything. And that's what I love about you. And people want to connect with people that's real. You know,
Absolutely.
because of social media, people can live behind a facade. They can rent a whole beautiful mansion and make you think that's where they live. They could be in relationships that you like, oh my God, I really want that. And then next week they're getting a divorce. So to see somebody as authentic and genuine as you are, it is a breath of fresh air. So, Tracy, now you're a mindset and development coach.
Yes.
So, tell us, was there a personal struggle, a transformation that led you to become a mindset and development coach? And tell us a little bit what a mindset and development coach does.
Sure. To be honest with you, there was absolutely nothing that led me to it.
Mm.
However, I do believe it's a part of the profession that I operate in, and knowing that in the profession as a mental health provider, the mind plays a very important part of how we process life, how we do life when life hiccups happen. So that literally kind of catapulted me into becoming a mindset and self development coach. So it kind of goes hand in hand. We have the mind, how we're going to operate and how we're going to tell the mind what it's going to do as opposed to the mind telling us. And in doing so, that is developing self as well and having that self identity, self control, and the power to shift our mindset to allow it to do what Tracy says and everyone else that's listening and chiming in.
It's good because a lot of times we have those intrusive thoughts. The thoughts that
Yeah,
come in and make you do think bad things, make you do things you really don't. But you're telling us we basically can have mind control, that we can control our thoughts, we can control how we react to our thoughts. And that's what I think therapists do. Mhm. They
yeah,
do that really well. They really do that really well. It's because they make you see a situation differently. And I think when you talk about a mindset coach, before you do anything, you got to have the right mindset. For a lot of
absolutely.
people think talent is something that you're born with. Sometimes talent is something that you create. Am I right?
Yeah, and I agree. And like you said, it is literally something that, a counselor slash therapist does. And my master's is in counseling. So that plays a part in the mindset as well, and the shift of the mindset that I actually literally just live by. The
Okay.
importance of, transforming the way that we think. It is imperative because
And
when we do that, it shifts the way that we see our life challenges and our life happenings and when life be happening. It
uh,
starts mentally.
but you know what? I'm gonna tell you who really knows about the importance of mindset is abusers and narcissists, and they know that you control the mind, you control everything. The mind is like the steering wheel of your whole
Yeah,
body.
yeah. I always
Your
like to say, go ahead, I'm sorry.
you good.
I always like to say the mind is so powerful, yet it's so tangible.
Mm.
Yeah, it can literally push you into something great, and then it can literally tear you down and deteriorate you all in the same. But it's up to us to determine what are we going to allow the mind to do for us and through us.
Mm. And I like that. It's about we can take the wheel of our mind.
Yes,
You're right, because sometimes our perspective be coming from our pain and not our purpose. We can be talking to somebody and be like, oh, that person a little cold. And this is somebody we need to connect with. And it might be that they're authoritative like that they're not like that. They might have been in the service and that's just their demeanor, or they might have had to be that way because of their environment. We just don't know. And so we judge them right away. We dismiss, I don't like that type of person or whatever. But you're right, mindset is very important because if you have a low mindset, you're gonna live a low life. And your mindset affects your finances.
absolutely. It's a correlation. The mind in regards to how we do life with our finances, spirituality, how we engage in intimate platonic relationships, our physical being, all of it is like a 360 fold. And it starts with our mind and the development of our minds and knowing that when life be life it's important that we process in the best way possible. And I always like to coin it looking at life and when life be happening through the optimistic viewpoint lenses and not the pessimistic viewpoint lenses. Because when we're optimistic, immediately when life happens, we will shift our minds to say, you know what? This has happened, but it's for purpose. This has happened, but I still have this. Prime example, I remember some a year or two ago, I was in this car accident. I got smashed in the back. And immediately I got out, I raised my hand and I said, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. And before I knew it, I said, well, you know what? My car is still drivable, but even if it's not, I have another car. So immediately my mind was shift that, I was still cognitively here, I wasn't hurt, and that if all fails, I still have another vehicle that I could use to get me around. And it takes time and it takes practice to get to a point in our lives where we're able to do that. It's a skill set. It literally is a skill set that you have to practice, you have to learn it. Yeah.
Do you think people are born optimistic? Or are they
I think
just shape their
I think
mind
we,
to think like that?
I think we have the ability. I don't know for sure or feel for sure that we're born like that, but I
Mhm.
know with me, I've always been a very optimistic person. It was just every time I saw something or something happened or transpired negatively, I immediately looked at the positivity out of that situation. And even more so, my life challenges with, health issues, it even got me to an even greater point of being optimistic. I see nothing else. For me, there's no other options, other than optimism, because again, you all are probably going to hear me say this umpteen times throughout the night. It's all about our mindset.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
about our mindset.
So you just conveyed to us how important it is, our mindset, our mindset. Okay, chef, mindset shifting
Yeah,
from survival mode to thriving in purpose. How do we
yeah.
do that? Because I mean, life comes at you real hard, so you're trying to get through it. How do you shift to thriving and finding your purpose at the same time?
What I would say is, and surviving is, it's not the best state of mind. It's not the best place to be for anyone. But how you get from surviving and just the hustle and the bustle is, we have to and start thriving. We have to be at a point where we're able and we're willing to say, you know what is causing me to just be in survival mode? What is it? Am I happy with this job? Am I happy with my finances? Am I happy with my place where I'm living? Am I just happy in these platonic or my intimate relationship? Why am I feeling overwhelmed and I'm just surviving? I just get up and I'm barely making it. And to transform from surviving to thriving, we got to first be able to identify what is it that has us feeling that we're literally just surviving. And once we can identify what that is, then it's up to us. It's our personal duty to start thriving and strategically making a plan to thrive as opposed to just surviving. Because when we're surviving, it can cause anxiety, worryation, stress. You're feeling upset. You're feeling pissed off. You're feeling angry. You're feeling tore up from the flow up because you have decided, I have decided, we have decided to stay in survival mode. But it's no longer survival mode. It's time to thrive. And like I mentioned, in order to do that, we've got to be able to have a sit down conversation with ourselves. And even if we got to jot it down, this is what has me feeling drained. And then do something about it if we can. If the power is in our control to change it, then do it. Prime
Mm.
example, when I was, working full time in mental health, I felt like I was literally just surviving. I dread going. It was stressful. The psychiatrist, I don't know where their sense of integrity was. It was literally out the window. It was like, where is your integrity when it comes to these patients? They're being discharged. They're not even quite ready to be discharged. That's a whole nother conversation. But, and new management was horrible. And when I tell you, I felt like I was just surviving. And once I realized that, I made a conscious decision to transition from full time to PRN because it wasn't worth my mental stability already operating in mental health. How am I going to operate and help someone with mental issues and challenges when mentally I'm tore up from the flow up? That's survival mode. So, what I did was I pushed from survival mode to thriving by
Mm.
making that transition and that conscious decision.
Wow. And that's what I think we have to get, that we can control, like if
Yes.
we can control like our hand movements, we can control our minds. We just think our mind is just what it is. It's like a
Yeah,
child, a baby. It just does what it does, and we have no control. It has no control over itself.
exactly.
And I think that's where mental illness come into play, because we forget our brain is an organ. I say this all the time.
Yeah,
So our brain gets sick too, and we have to learn how to heal it. And how
yeah.
we heal it is changing our mindset. So tell us
Mhm.
how, now you're an author too and a poet. Now listen, y'all, let me run this off. She's a speaker, She's a coach, she's a poet, and she is an author. Now, tell us about your gift of writing, how it help people walk in their freedom of who they are. And I love your tagline. Say it. You know your tag. Be
Yeah,
free. No, get free.
get free, be free, stay free.
Hey. So
Thank
tell us
you.
about your gift of writing. How is it helping people? How do you use it to help people get free?
With my writing, believe it or not, I've never desired to be an author. And even when I started writing in poetry, I was like, oh, wow. And I wanted to be this sensual writer, sensual poet, but that was not the way that it was given to me. And what I do in my writing, not even knowing and walking in purpose and walking in my gift, when I write, is very encouraging. It's inspirational. It's motivational. I can have the worst of the worst day, but you better believe it. I am still encouraging someone with my words, with my writing. It's just who I am. And I'm grateful to know that that is what I've been called to do. So with my writing, I hear it all the time from those that, are in my tribe. You're always so inspiring. Your writing is so inspirational. It's so motivating. I love it. Keep doing what you're doing. I was like, okay, thank you, God. I know I'm there. I'm walking, operating, writing, talking in my purpose. And I thank you, God, for that.
So you have books?
I do.
Tell us about your books. Don't hold
Sure.
back on us.
Yeah, it's actually a self-help book, and it digests the different aspect of developing within yourself as an individual, which is
Mhm.
coincide with me being that mindset and self-development coach. The book is literally about how we deal and how we face life physically, how to develop mentally, socially, psychologically, and it just kind of ties it in together and help us to understand that in order to be fully developed, when we have these roadblocks and when we have these hiccups, then it's to catapult us to the next
Mhm.
level.
It's
Where
not to
most
stop
people,
us.
I'm sorry,
It's not to stop us. It's you
it's
say it's to push us.
yes,
There you
but the road, yeah, it's to push us. Now,
go.
there may be a little pit stop, a little bump in the road, and that's okay. Again, we've got to acknowledge the little bump in the road, the red flag. But I always like to say, you know what? Even in the midst, we still got to get ready to fight back because we have from within the power, and the power from within starts with the mind and it trickles down from the crown, from the top, and it just goes and flows through our body if we allow it to.
That's good. That's good. Because a lot of times we think those hiccups are to stop us. You know, we like, oh, okay, well, it's a rock in the road. Let me turn around, go the other way. When it's like you got enough room to go around that rock. But just
Yeah,
because you focus so much on that rock, you did not focus on how wide of a space that you had to get around. And I think we are geared to focus on the negative, to like, but when you are a fighter, you look at obstacles as like, okay, this is a challenge. When you start
yeah,
looking at stuff like that as a challenge, when you let Coach Tracy
yeah,
shift your mindset to look at problems as challenges instead of, oh God, this is me, this going on with me, I need to stop. She'll teach you how to start to figure out a solution around
yeah,
things, because some things it's just us. Like, if say for instance you lost your arm, and I hear people say, well, this is just the new me and I have to deal with the new me. And then you have people that mourn the loss of their arm to the day they die. Oh, I remember I had two arms. No, I don't want to learn how to do that. And then some people just like, it is what it is. I gotta adapt. I gotta move past this. And I think for a lot of us, we get stuck in our pain, or we get stuck in the thing that we're going through, and we make it us. Especially when
yeah,
it's when somebody has chronic illness, you see some people living their life, you never know. And
yeah,
then you have them people that will tell you, oh girl, my toenail hurt. And you be
yeah,
like, oh, okay, but you can't concentrate on that. You have to concentrate. The pain comes to take your focus off your purpose. If you just concentrate on that lost arm, you're gonna miss every opportunity that God has for you. You're gonna miss life. You died when your arm fell off. But we want to keep living. And so, Tracy, if you're out there living, I mean out there living, watching, I hope nobody's dead watching the broadcast. I
Let's
hope
hope not.
not. Even the dead watch the Ruby Girl talk show. Y'all, nobody has an audience like that but me.
But
So
you.
watching. Please make sure you connect with Miss Tracy. Tracy, I'm about to give you 60 seconds. Say whatever you want to say. I'm going to turn the show over to you and I'm going to look on social media. But I want you to give them your contact information. I want you to say whatever you want to say for 60 seconds. The show is yours.
Sure, you can definitely connect with me. I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to take the journey with you. You can reach me at www.iamtracysmalls.com. Again, www.iamtracysmalls.com. And I am here as your coach. I will take your hand. I will go with you in the delivery room. I will push with you so that you with me together, we can get free, be free, and stay free. And no, absolutely, I'm not minimizing your pain. I'm not minimizing your struggles, but I'm here to catapult you past your pain so that you can live in purpose and that mess so that it can become a beautiful message, a beautiful story.
Oh, man, you know, Facebook has can be can be really different at times. Let me see. There you go. So now let me look at the comments. I find sometimes that when you press it on your phone, it takes you to a whole nother video. So we got
Oh,
Blair Cherie out there. She said, hello, ladies. And we got
hello.
Annette, good evening. Tara in the house. She said, amen
Hello.
to something we said. She was an amen. She's our
Awesome.
amen crew. And then
All
Annette
right.
says, negative mindsets run in families, seem like. Do you find that happening? That
I do believe that it is, grounded in your upbringing.
mm,
Yeah, I can definitely say that it is. But again, at some point we have to recognize it. And if it's not applicable, if it's not working for us, then guess what? I'll always like to say you can grab your pen, get your canvas, and rewrite your own story. So it's all about rewriting your own story if that is what you've been surrounded with.
wow. Yeah, Coach Tracy is giving us a pen tonight.
Yes,
So starting tonight, the pen you can't erase. You can't erase the past, but you can take that pen and rewrite the way that you think. Sometimes we have to stop and say, how I've been viewing my life. Is this really how my life really is? Or am I looking through the lenses of what I've been through, what my family said, what other people are doing?
yes,
Sometimes we're living our lives for others and not even knowing it.
yes,
Like I remember I was talking to my therapist and I was telling her, I said, I went to the Coney Island and I ordered a sandwich and
yes,
they didn't give me everything I wanted on it. I ain't have my cheese. Then I was like, yeah, I went to the this other restaurant the next day, and they gave me the wrong type of cheese. I'm like, "Ugh, every time I go to a restaurant, this just happens to me." And she said,
yes,
"So you've been upset over cheese for 2 days?" And I was like, and then when I thought about it, I had to laugh. But you see how I personalized it? Yeah, it was
yes,
two incidents where they forgot to give me my cheese, but I put it into an attack against me.
yes,
Every time I come in a restaurant, this and that, and sometimes we do that. It be
we do.
simple stuff, and it's all about our mindset. We just don't realize how simple. God says his yoke is easy. We
Yes,
make it hard by the way we think about things. When a man doesn't want us, what's wrong with me? Why not what's wrong with him? If a
exactly.
job turns you down, oh my God, I wasn't good enough. Maybe you were overqualified. Maybe that job just was not a good fit and God wanted something better. So if we start to think like Coach Tracy, when we
Yes,
see things happen, we see a puddle of water, we be like, okay, that gives me the opportunity to jump over it and have fun instead of all this water here to stop me. You
yes,
know, we got to change our mindset. I said, reset your mindset. So we're on the second part of the show. And so
Yeah.
we're going to talk more about her being a speaker. You got like a little glimpse of her speaking. You see how inspirational she is. And just imagine she in a crowd, you invite her in front of 100 people, and she's going to inspire those people just like she's inspiring you. So Tracy, as an international inspirational speaker, how are you inspiring people to turn their pain into purpose?
And I'm so glad that you asked me that because simply what I do, how I do it is I immediately tell them it is time. It is time. It's this very second to start doing something different. If you want to catapult to the next level, what you've been through is the past. We are right here. And that is the focus and moving forward. And do you want it? And how bad do you want it? It's kind of like, do you want to breathe to live? So if you want to breathe to live, then guess what? You're going to do the necessary things, take the necessary steps, strategize so that you can still thrive and catapult to the next level. It's your birthright. It is your personal birthright to have it all. I always like to say you can have it all. And if you ask, well, what do you mean, Tracy? How am I going to have it all? Strategically plan it. And I always like to say, if you want something different, then guess what? Put on those combat boots. Do something different. So we got to envision what it is that we want. Whatever your it is, envision it, see it. And then we got to believe that we are so deserving of what it is that we want to get to the next level to excel. And then, like I said, baby, you got to put on those combat boots. Even in the storm, you got to put on them tumbling boots. You got to go to war. You got to say, you know what? This right here ain't what you're looking for because I'm going to get what is for me. And any and everything that you want, it's out there, it's attainable. And yes, personalize it. It's for you. God's got your name on it and it's stamped specifically for each and every one of you all that's chiming in. So I get there and I present and I'm on stage and I'm telling you, it's time to ring the cowbells like never before. Sound the alarm, blow the whistle, because baby, I want you to do you, baby, unapologetically in your truth. It's your birthright. But you know what? The choice is up to you. Are you going to walk in authority? Are you going to walk and say, you know what? I'm claiming what's mine. And yes, I'm going to go after it strategically. I'm going to put forth the work. So what you going to do? What are you going to do starting right now? And I'm here to help you to get to your next it. You got to claim it. You got to want it. You got to want it like you want it, like you want it, like you know it's there for you. And God's got your name written on it because guess what? God does. And you're deserving.
Wow. Thank you for speaking to me like that.
You're welcome.
I erased everybody in the audience. That was that was powerful
Thank
because a
you.
lot of times you find your pain and you find your purpose in your pain. You
Yeah.
can allow your pain to change your purpose
Yes.
because I remember when I was molested when I was 3 years old. So it altered my purpose.
Yeah.
It didn't change it, it altered it. And
Oh,
because of that, I had a different mindset. I felt like I the very thing that I should have given to somebody, my
yeah.
virginity,
Yeah.
it was just taken from me. And because it was taken from me, I felt like I had no control over it and that that part of my body was not valuable. So I
Yeah.
didn't mind freely giving. You know, as they
Yeah.
say, freely give, freely receive. And so until I learned my worth and my value is more than my body, is more than what that person's that person and those people afterwards did to me.
Yeah.
They had their own issues. I couldn't make them shape, I couldn't allow them to shape me into something that God didn't even create me to be. You know,
Exactly.
so I had to learn to love myself. But when I started giving a voice instead of hiding what happened to me, when
Yeah.
I had spoke, I told you about Sean Fair on his stage
Yeah.
the first time. When I walked off that stage, I actually had made peace with my past of being molested. I said, if that hadn't happened to me, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have a powerful story where I connect with other people that had happened to, that I can empathize with little girls that grow
Yeah.
up feeling like they're not good for nothing but for somebody to touch on them, or
Yeah,
only thing they got to offer somebody is their body, and they don't know how to put boundaries, because before they could even establish boundaries, somebody crossed it illegally. So we have a
exactly.
lot of hurt people out there
Yeah,
that might have been rejected from the very people they thought should have accepted them, and they're
yeah,
still living in that hurt. They still allowing that hurt to shape their lives. But it has to be a time, just like me, I drew the line in the sand and said,
yeah.
God, I'm grateful this happened to me. I said, I'm not grateful that I grew up so broken and so hurt, but I said,
Hmm.
I'm grateful that I have overcome it by the power of Jesus Christ. God,
Yes.
Jesus Christ's greatest moment was not when he fed the 5,000. It was not when he raised the people from the dead. It was
Mm.
when he got on the cross and
Yeah,
took on the pain of the world. His most painful moment was his most glorified moment. So you got to take your pain and glorify it instead of allowing it to make you shrink, to make you make small-minded decisions. And that's why you need to connect with Tracy. Tracy will help you expand your mind around your pain. She'll help you connect with it, and then she's going to walk you out of it into your purpose.
yeah,
Until you deal with your pain, it's going to alter your purpose. You're going to
yeah,
do a little what you're supposed to do. But once you accept it, like once I accepted, this happened to me.
yeah.
It was nothing I could do. I blame myself, Tracy. You know why I blame myself?
Uh-huh.
Because I hear people say, when I was molested, it hurt. And I was like, I don't remember it hurting. I said, I
Mm.
really don't. I felt like, I said, did I take pleasure in it?
Yeah,
But then I was like, I'm 3 years old. How can I have pleasure in sex? And then
exactly.
I started thinking about, I said, you was the victim. And when I started saying, but I'm no longer the victim, I'm the victor. This is no
Yeah.
longer going to affect my life, affect my mind, affect my
Hmm.
behavior. I am
Yeah,
the conqueror. So you are right. Mindset change is so important. So a lot of us might be 50, 60, 100, but we still right in that place where that person rejected us, violated us, spoke wrong to
yeah,
us, treated us wrong. We never got past it, and we've been living with it. So that's
yeah,
so is that's why your message, get free, be free, stay free, is so important that you share it.
yeah, it is. Because like you said, it's so many ladies that just literally day in, day out, living in their pain. And then they become comfortable in their pain. And then they have a crowd that supports their pain, as opposed to someone that say, hey, okay, this has happened. We're not minimizing it, but let's move beyond that pain. Let's see something positive out of it. What are we going to do? What are we going to say? How are we going to rewrite and recreate our story so that the world can know that this has happened to me and I am no longer the victim, but I am the victor. I'm not just barely surviving, but I'm thriving. I'm moving beyond it. So get out of your mess and allow it to catapult and help you to help someone else to create a beautiful message. But what happens oftentimes as well, why oftentimes we stay in our mess, is because I always like to say as well, we got to be mindful of our eye gates, what we're watching, and our ear gates. And just out of all transparency, when I was diagnosed with the two different cancers the same year, 8, 9 years ago, to this day, if I see anything about it, I switch the channel. If I hear anything about it, I change the channel, because I know how important it is, the mind, and how if I allow these eyes and these gates to internalize what I'm going through, and even currently now, then I will more than likely get to worrying. Oh, gee, I got cancer. I'm finna die. Oh, gee, I can't believe it. I won't live my life. I won't get free, be free, and stay free. And, for all of you guys that are listening currently, you would probably never not know that to this day, as I'm speaking to you all, one of the cancer, the liposarcoma in my left leg, it has returned. But when I tell you, baby, I focus on the fact that God is a healer, God is Jehovah Rapha. I'm not focusing, I'm not thinking about it. I call it that it. And all my duty to do is to still live in purpose. My duty is to follow the recommendations, if I choose to, by my surgical oncologist, if I choose to do so. and do the recommendations. But until then, the cancer diagnosis, it's not a death sentence. And I want you all to know, if you're dealing with any type of health issues or whatever issue it is, it's a it. And it does not mean that you're dying. And like we talked about earlier this evening, how the snap of a finger, the blink of an eye, we're here live. Anyone that's chiming in could drop dead. I can drop dead. And when I tell you what really helped me to continue to get free, be free, and stay free, when I was diagnosed, I created two mantras. And you guys, feel free to take it along with you in your personalized jewel box if you love to. I said, Tracy, just because you've been diagnosed with two different cancer, breast cancer, liposarcoma, it does not mean that you're finna die no sooner than anybody that exercise regularly or eat better and healthier. Don't sweat it. Keep living your life. And the second mantra was, Tracy, the reality is we all got to die one day. Don't sweat it. Keep living your life. And when I say those two mantras, to this day, I still live by them faithfully. And it helps me to be an instrumental blessing in the lives of other people. It helps me to help people learn the importance of transformation in the mind. So, like I mentioned, once it starts in the mind, you start thinking negatively, everything else, it's the inevitable. It's going to swindle down. And we're not doing that. We are not doing that. And of course, easier said than done, but that's why I'm here, to help you and to push you and to hold your hand and to help you through this journey. Because I want you to get free. Be free and stay free. Worrying is a typical emotional response when life be lifing. But we ain't got to stay in that worrying. We're gonna set ourselves free from worrying. And from the hope, we're gonna become hopeful. From the pain, purposeful. From the mess and misery, it's gonna be our message.
Mm. I thought about pop, purpose over pain. And I thought about this one rapper. He says sometimes you have to pop out and show them. So
Yeah,
sometimes I think you have to pop out of your pain, pop out
yeah,
of that low place that you are at. And you got to
yeah,
realize it does not matter what people say about you, because people are only looking on the outside, they're judging you. They can never see your heart. They can
yeah,
never see how you have triumphed over something, and you're like this because of what you went through in your past.
yeah,
And so that's why we have to always live our life for the audience of one, and that's Jesus Christ. That is very powerful what you
yeah,
say. Ladies, get free, be free, and stay free. Let that be your mantra, your motivation for the week.
yeah,
I'm gonna get free. I'm gonna be free, and I'm staying free, because a lot of times
yeah,
people get free and they go back,
yes,
like domestic violence victims. Family will get them out of it. The next thing you know, they're back with them. And I think that's the frustration that people
yes,
have, is when they bring people out of something, they go right back to it. I remember I had left this church,
yeah,
and it was kind of like a cult in a way.
yeah,
And so I finally got free of it. I walked away from it.
yeah,
But because I was cut off, the people wouldn't call me or anything, I was so lonely and I wanted to go back, even though I knew it was a
mm,
toxic place. I'd rather be in a toxic place than to be alone and try to face what was new for me, what was next for me. So
yeah,
sometimes you just have to just let it go.
yeah,
Take the as,
the-
as my friend Linda Hunt says, take the limits off. And as my
yeah,
my bestie Tracy Small says, get free, be free, stay free. And this is the way
yeah,
we have to think, and this is the way we have to live, because God came to set us free, and we are free indeed. So if you
yeah,
at now, see, this is where we're gonna test you at. All right. You ready for
yeah.
the test of the night? All right. So
I'm
she gave us
ready.
all this inspirational talk. She said she's a coach, she's a poet, she's an author, she got books, she got all this self-help. So now we're going to put her on the stage. So if you at a conference speaking to women who are stuck and want to be free, give us an example of what you would say to help to get them to walk in their freedom. And y'all rate her on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being great. So the audience is going to
Yeah.
rate you. I'm not putting pressure on, but pressure on. All right, Miss Tracy.
If you're ready to become unstuck, that's a great thing. That is the best thing that you could have actually accepted, that you want to become unstuck and free. And I'm here to tell you, how is it? You have to first want it. Like I mentioned, you want it, you want it, you want it. Do you want it? And so go after it. Go after it. And what that means is you surround yourself with the people where you're trying to go. You have those conversations with the people that are having that conversation, that type of dialogue. You network. You become this physical being in a body, and knowing that internally you have everything that you need to get to your next level. And oftentimes, when we're stuck and we come to that realization that we want to become unstuck, that's the greatest part, because the hardest part to become, to thrive and free, we got to have acceptance. So, baby, once you start accepting, that's the key. It's just the game. The game has already changed. Now it's just walking in it. You walk in that room knowing that God sent you, knowing that you belong there, knowing that you have all the credentials, you have everything. Not some things, but everything. And not are you just enough, you're more than enough. So you go sit at that table and you claim it. You ain't asking for permission, you're giving, and you're telling them, this is my spot. I own it, I claim it, it's mine. But the first thing and the greatest thing is being ready to become unstuck. So I see that you guys are ready to become unstuck, and I'm here to help you. That's the first. We're shifting gears, kind of like how you drive a manual. We got to start slow, and gradually, what happens in that manual? You start, you take off, and baby, you got, we all got what it takes to take off. So let's get ready. And it may hurt, because we're going to be doing something different. We're going to be transforming the way that we think it. But guess what? The ending results, which there is no limit, it's limitless. It ain't no sky is the limit. Absolutely not. We're going to go beyond, and we're going to soar like never before, like eagles, and take off all the shackles. We're getting free. That's our personal birthright. And I want us to claim it together.
Oh, all right, y'all. Vote from scale of 1 to 5. How did she do? Impromptu. How did she do, y'all? Scale 1 to 5. That was great, Tracy. That was really great.
Thank you.
I can see you on the stage, inspiring those people jumping up. You're right. It's time for me to be free. It's time for me to
Yeah,
get free, be free, stay free. I could just hear
yeah,
them just yelling that. So I
yeah.
want to thank you
I
for
thank you.
sharing tonight your personal story of your health struggles. And some of us have never had the C word spoken to us, but yet we live like life is not worth living.
Yeah,
Bills are too much. Our finances are not right. Well, I'm here to tell you, bills and your finances having issues. Even millionaires have financial issues. Billionaires have financial issues. Elon Musk, he lost billions in one day or whatever like that. So no matter how where you at on the financial scale, you're gonna always have financial issues. You're gonna always have trouble. This world is full of it, but it's how you look at it. It's what mindset you have as you see it. And one thing we got to learn, we need to focus on us, what we're doing, what we need, instead of focusing on, well, this person over here, I'm working harder than them. I can do better than why they get that opportunity. Why they blow up and I didn't blow up. When you start to take the focus off your purpose, that's when you get distracted. When you start looking around and seeing what everybody has their time and their season. Time and chance happen to us all. Mine might be at 1 o'clock, yours might be 2, it might be 12. So when you start to look around, you delay your time, your chance. So
yeah.
stay focused on your purpose. So Tracy, let me see. I'm gonna check Facebook one more time. because
Yes.
it seems to be, oh, you got some fives in the house, girl. Five,
Thank
five, five,
you.
five, five. You did an
Thank
excellent job.
you.
I want to thank everybody that's been commenting. We got some more comments. I'm gonna tell you right quick. It's keep fighting. You are overcomer. Two are better than one. When one falls, the other can pull them up. Get help when help is needed. Yes. Miss
Yes.
Linda's out here. She preaching in these comments, Miss Tracy. Y'all need to connect. Give yourself permission to be free.
Yes.
Yeah, she got that from you.
Absolutely.
Give yourself permission to be. Sometimes we take on other people issues, problems, especially if you're a parent. I've noticed a lot of parents do that. I feel like the adults during our age of growing up, they lived free. They didn't take on our problems. You got to figure that out, girl. Mama, can I come back home? No, you absolutely cannot. You figure it out. They
Yeah.
made us acknowledge our problems and figure it out,
Figure it out.
regardless if we hurt or whatever. But guess what? Now we're able to think. Now we're self-sufficient. I thank God for when I moved out the house, I was told you cannot come back. And
Uh-huh.
because of that, guess what? I worked 2 to 3 jobs. And
Yeah.
I said, even if I become homeless, which I did, I didn't ask to come back. And so when my relative was like, well, you could have came back. I said, no, when I walked out that door, you basically told me from now on, I got to make sure that I make it happen. And I made it happen because guess what? I knew nobody else was going to make it happen for me. So you
Yeah.
got a lot of fives out there
Thank
that
you
are
all. I
listening.
totally,
It's Karen
truly
in the house.
appreciate it.
Yes. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to close us out. And that's going to be it. So I want to thank everybody. I definitely want to thank Coach Tracy. You have inspired us all tonight. You have
I,
done a wonderful job. You have lived in your purpose. Like you said, you don't focus on your pain. You focus on life. You don't focus on your finances. You focus on life. You live your life. That's all you got every second. You cannot extend it no way, but you got to live it to the best of your ability. So, Miss Tracy, give us a 2 minute closeout and tell them
sure.
definitely how they can connect with you.
Yeah. Again, you can connect with me at www.iamtracysmalls.com. You can inbox me on Facebook Messenger. You can give me a call. I can put the number down there in the chat, or you can, if you will. That's 404-328-6685. I just want you all to know that no matter what your situation is, no matter what your hiccup is, no matter what your life challenges are, it's not any of my business, but I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be your permanency domain. It does not have to be your permanent residency. So say along with me, whatever I'm going through, it's not my permanent residency. It's a pit stop in the road. And we are going to diligently vow together, touch and agree together that from this day moving forward, we're not focusing on our mess. We're not focusing on our pain. We're not focusing on our challenges, but we're going to catapult and we're going to be solution driven. The key is wanting something different, wanting to be solution driven. And in order to do that, we've got to put forth the work. It's the inevitable. We've got to, again, get ready and tell those storms, like I mentioned, this right here, it ain't what you're looking for. Because I am more than a conqueror. I'm speaking directly to each and every one of you all. You all are more than a conqueror, and you all have absolutely everything, down to the very small, minute within that God has given us to catapult. But again, it's in our mind. So, what are you going to do? How are you going to transform your mind so that you can begin to be optimistic no matter what? In the midst of a job loss, in the midst of your finances tore up from the floor up, in the midst of losing your support animal, in the midst of losing a loved one, in the midst of losing your business, all of those are hiccup in the road. So, baby, what you going to do with the hiccup? Will you vow with me to say, I'm ready and I want something different? I'm a fighter. I'm a conqueror. I'm a champion. I'm a warrior. I got this. The fight is not only just mine, but God is my captain. I'm the co-captain, and we gonna ride these wheels out, baby, until they fall off. But the question is, as I'm chiming out, what are you gonna do? What are you going to do to move into purpose and to catapult and be that infinite message and blessing to the tribe that you've been called to serve? What are you gonna do?
Put the question out there. So what are y'all gonna do? Those that listen to her interview tonight, put in the chat because she's gonna go back and she's gonna check out the chat and she's gonna interact with you. Put in the chat, what are you gonna do different? What are you gonna let go of? And what you're gonna change your mindset of? It's God has so much living for us. God just did not put us on this earth to worry, to be down, to be depressed. God put a beautiful sun in the sky every single day. He gave us some nice cold snow yesterday that we
Yeah.
didn't expect. But
Whoa.
that snow has a purpose. It goes down to the earth. It has water, those beautiful flowers that we'll see in a few more weeks. Everything has a purpose. Your life has a purpose. Stop
Yeah.
living through your pain. Stop living your pain out every single day. It's just like if I stub my toe and for the rest of my life, I was like, girl, my foot hurt. And you be like, well, what happened? I stubbed my toe like 5 years ago. And you be like, what? Yeah, I can still remember that pain. It's like, well, do your foot actually hurt? No, but I remember that pain. So that's what a lot of us do. We remember that pain. And when things trigger us, we think out of that pain, we see out of that pain. But Coach Tracy is here to shift that mindset. So thank you for watching. If you want to be my guest, just put in the chat, I want to be Kay's guest. I'm always looking for guests. And as you see, my guests are a blessing to my audience. I try to get somebody here that's going to shift your whole life. And so Tracy going to start with your mind, shifting your mind to where it needs to be. So y'all remember what she says, get free, be free, and what, Tracy?
Stay free.
Yay! So, all right,
Yeah.
we are signing off Facebook. Thank you so much for everybody to comment. We'll be back next week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, I'll be back. I'm talking about we, like I'm dragging you along with me, but I'll be back next week. I promise you. So y'all be blessed and always remember support the Ruby Girl platform. And also reach out to Miss Tracy, Coach Tracy. Connect with her, at least
Yeah.
inbox her, at least go on her website, take a look around, at least show your appreciation. Give her a call. She might be your new bestie. Baby, I love when you said that. Baby, you never know. So have a great night, everybody. We're signing off Facebook and thank you so much.
Thank you all.